Welcome to the Sunshine Podcast. This is yours truly, Dora Williams, and we are coming to you with the Transparent Moment segment. And this is going to be a special edition for Mother's Day. And I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there that will be listening. This is a podcast that will encourage mothers and children at that. I want to get right into it. And the name of this podcast, this segment rather, is going to be My Mama Saved My Life. My Mama Saved My Life. And use on Transparent Moment segment, I don't get biblical, but today I want to come from a passage of scripture. And I'm going to read 1 Kings 3:16. We're going to begin at 16th verse. And it reads, Then came there two women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my Lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the third day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it. And she arose at midnight and took my son from beside me while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then the king said, The one saith, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is dead. And the other said, Nay, but thy son is dead, and my son is living. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king, and the king said, Divide the child in two, and give half to one and half to the other. Then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my Lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divided. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. The name of this topic is My Mother Saved My Life. Now you could about understand this story. Two women living in a house together, both of them ended up giving birth. One woman went to sleep, rolled over and slept on her child to the point to where the child suffocated and died. She woke up and noticed that her child was dead. So she went and took the other woman's child, and she pretty much swapped children, so to speak. The real mother woke up to feed her baby and noticed that the baby was dead, and also noticed that it wasn't her child. Understand today, children, your mother knows you. A real mother knows her children. Whether you be an adult or whether you're still a child, underage. It doesn't matter the age. A mother always knows her child. You cannot convince a real mother that this child is mine when it's not. So there was a big uproar about whose baby belonged to what mother. So they took it before the king. No, this is my child. No, the living one is mine. The dead one is yours. So the king said, Hey, bring me a sword. We'll just end this right now. We'll just end this argument, and we will divide the child, cut the child in half, and we'll let both ladies have a piece of the living child. Now, a real mother can't stand to see nothing happen to her child. A real mother cannot stand to see her child in pain, her child being misused and abused. Now, the real mother say, don't do it. Because something just earned her mind. If I cannot just sit here and watch the king cut my baby before my eyes. I'd just rather the baby go and be with her and be alive than to have my child split in half. But the other mother says, okay, let's do it. That's a good deal. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's split this baby in half. Now, if the king really had to listen and didn't use wisdom, he would have split that baby in half like he really wanted to. And the baby would have been dead. But the real mother stood up and saved that child's life. I want you to think about this today. If you are living, understand that your mother saved your life in more ways you can even imagine. A lot of things she did to save your life, you couldn't understand it as a child. Even when it came down to her giving birth to you. She risked having surgery so that you could come out alive because the cord might have been wrapped around your neck. Or she go through different things in her body while she's carrying you. And risk going through so much near-death experiences just so you could be alive. Enduring high blood pressure, acid reflux, all kinds of stuff so that you can be alive. There may be a point in time where the doctor would tell her to choose. We're going to have to take this baby now, or the baby won't make it, or you won't make it. Or we don't have surgery now and induce labor, the baby will die. And most mothers will go ahead and risk having you early so that you can live versus waiting to due date and risk losing you. Think about this. Many mothers, they get pregnant, not intending to get pregnant, meaning someone comes along and mishandles them and rapes them. And because they're not ready to be a mother just yet, knowing that they're not in place financially to take care of you, they decide to give you up for an adoption. Give you to somebody that can raise you and give you a better life. Now, we would think that's just the worst thing. How can you carry that child for 9 months? And then go through all that pain and then give your child away and don't want them? Your mother took a lot of time to make hard decisions. Sometimes it's not that she don't want you, but she don't want you to suffer. She don't want you to go without. She don't want you to be hungry. She don't want you to live in an unsafe environment. It's why godmama had to step in and raise you. Or grandma had to step in and raise you. Your foster mother or your adopted mother had to step in and raise you. Simply because your real mother thought enough of you to save your life than to ruin your life. I just want to talk real talk today. So when we think about these things, a lot of us adults, we get grown and grow up and we find out different things about our families and, this, that, and the third. And most children won't know that they are adopted or the person that raised them is their foster parent until they get grown. And then they start feeling some type of way towards the real mother as to why you did not raise me. Instead of being grateful that she thought enough of you to give you to somebody that could. That's love. And we don't look at it that way. But that is love. When someone comes and attacks a woman and rapes her, she becomes impregnated. That is not her fault. And you never know where that woman is in her life at that particular time. And it's not easy just to come up with all this money and housing depending on if she has her own place or not. It's to take care of that child. So the best thing to do is to give that child up to someone that is stable in that moment. So when we think about these things and where we are in our life and who raised us, whether it be grandma because your mother had you when she was a teenager, whether your mother was raped is how you came about, or whether she was married and, they hit hard times so they let you go live with a relative, an auntie or an older sister or older sibling or something so that your life can be saved. That's unconditional love that we overlook and don't realize. But we give our mother so much, we give her a hard time because of the decisions that she had to make in that moment when all she was trying to do was save our life. And when we look at it, we should be grateful. We shouldn't be upset. We shouldn't be angry. We should be grateful that she thought enough. And when she found out that she was impregnated with the child because of rape of an uncle, a stranger, her dad, sad to say, that she did not abort you. She did not say, go ahead and just kill it. I don't even want it. But she kept you anyway and allowed you to go with someone that will love you, provide for you. We should be grateful. We should be grateful. Because your mother saved your life. A lot of things your mother didn't let you do as a child, even in adulthood. She give you the best wisdom that she knows how because she done been on the road that we're traveling on. It's not so much that she's trying to control your life. Now, don't get me wrong, some mothers do. But we're looking at the positive things on today. We're looking at the positive things on this weekend. If we be real with ourselves, we know most of the stuff our mama told us, we didn't want to hear because we thought it was so bad. We thought it was so wrong. We thought she was being so hard on us. It was actually the truth. And we ought to tell her that this weekend. Mama, I'm sorry for rebelling against you and bucking up against you and going against you when all you were trying to do was help me. Please forgive me. But yet we grow up, have been provided everything we needed in life. And yet some of us walk around here not speaking to our mothers. Hate the ground she walk on. Why? How can you live with yourself not speaking to your mother? Not being grateful that whatever decision she decided to make, whether it was to keep you and raise you herself, allow someone else to raise you, she's still your mother. Times might not have been good. But guess what? It's enough now over 18 to be able to try to understand it. You ought to be grateful that you are here and that you are moving on in life and you are successful where you are. She gave you life. She gave you something you couldn't give yourself. People are wishing that their mothers were here to be able to talk to be able to hear their voice, to be able to thank them. Thank you for giving me life. Even though I wish you had raised me so that I would know you, know why I do the things that I do, know why I crave ice cream so, or why strawberries is my favorite, because it's yours. You ate those things while I was pregnant, is why it's my favorite. Most people are wishing that they had a mother to be able to have those conversations with. They can't hear their mother today, Mother's Day. They can't see her, they can't write her, they can't call her. They have to visit her from the grave. You shouldn't want to visit your mother from the grave and go to the grave and talk to her about things you could have talked to her about when she was alive. Ask her things at the grave that you could have asked her while she was alive. I'm going to be very transparent. The woman that raised me, listen, I thought she was the worst woman on the face of this earth. And y'all could go back and tell her it's fine because she knows, because I've shared this with her. There were times I feel like I couldn't talk to her because she was so mean. It's like, do as I say and not as I do. You can't ask no questions, just do what I say. And it's like, I can't live with it. I can't live like that. When I got old enough and things were just getting bad in my young adulthood, age of 20, in my 20s, things were just getting bad. We were just we were always close because I'm a mama's girl. We were always close, but as the older we got, it seems like there was just friction in our relationship. And I sat down one day and I asked the Lord, I said, now God, she's this old school woman. And she have her ways about her, and I know she can't help it because that's how she was raised. So she do what she see her parents did to her. But Lord, I need answers on some things. I need answers in order for me to live in this house with her. I want to be able to talk to her and she hear me without interrupting me. And then I hear her without interrupting her. And when I prayed that prayer, one day I went in her room. I was home. I was off this particular day. And I went in her room scared as all get out because I didn't know how this conversation was going to go. But I knew I had to have a conversation. I had to have a conversation. I had a small conversation, but it wasn't, I didn't ask the questions I needed to ask. But I got some answers. She heard me out. She sat there and didn't interrupt me at all like she would usually do. And then when I was done, she said, I want to answer you. I want to respond. So I did not open my mouth and say nothing. I sat and I listened to what she had to say. And I knew that some of the things she had to say I was not going to like. But I had to listen to her to understand why she raised me and my sisters the way she did. Why she wouldn't let us go spend the night at our cousin's house, our aunt's house. Why we had to be in church all the time, seemed like every day of the week. Why we couldn't wear pants all the time. We always wore dresses all the time and couldn't wear pants. Wasn't allowed to wear pants. It was just certain things she just would not let us do. Couldn't go to the movies, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. And I wanted to know why. When I sat down and asked her, she gave me an answer. Guess what? It wasn't the answer I was looking for, but I understood what her mindset was when she was raising us. My mom was going through a lot, raising 4 girls. So I began to understand more as an adult than as a child. And I began to appreciate her the more. It's like, Lord, she did the best she could. But I still didn't have all my answers. And it took my brother dying 3 years ago for some other stuff to really open up within the family. After we buried our brother, my brother, I was over to her house. I went and I checked on her and was doing some things for her. And we do have this brother that he used to, but that has changed since the other brother passed. He will not speak to us. He will not come around. He had issues against my father. We had to have the same father and his mother. And we noticed it. And my mom said to me when I was over to her house that day 3 years ago, she said, y'all keep talking about your brother having some things against his mama and your dad. But y'all got stuff against me and your daddy too. And at that moment, the Lord said, go in. Go in because you're going to get some answers you need. And I began to say, well, Mom, I do have a few things that I'm holding because I just don't know. I didn't know how to come to you and ask you or, bring it up. So again, I started talking and she listened. And then she began to, say to me, I didn't know you felt that way. This, that, and the third. Still, some things she said I didn't like. And I know some things I said to her she didn't like. But she accepted the fact that I talked to her and got that stuff off my chest. And now she know why I act the way I acted. Why I did what I did. Why I had the desire to do some things that, she wouldn't allow me to do. If she said do this and I did that. She understood why I was dealing with what I was dealing with. And I understood why she didn't allow us to do things again. Why she didn't tolerate certain stuff. I got my answers because I communicated with her. And once I began to let that go and she got stuff off her chest as it relates to me, our relationship is better than ever. And now I can pretty much almost talk to her about anything. So I don't hold a grudge against her for stuff that happened as a child. Or stuff that she did not let me do as a child that I wanted to do. Places I wanted to go, she actually saved me from. She saved my life. It was a situation I found out about last year. Really upset me. But in the end, I had to know it happened because she saved my life and showed me so much love that nobody else would show me. Gave me what no one else would give me. Been there for me when no one else will be there for me. And I can appreciate her to this day because she, the mother figure in my life, my mama, she saved my life. She saved my life. She saved my life. And y'all need to think about this. Think about the times you were angry with your mother. Think about the time she said you couldn't go. And then later on down the line, you heard that someone that you was getting ready to go with got killed in a car accident. She saved your life. Even as adults, she tell you not to do certain things. Y'all talking, she say, well, I wouldn't do that. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't handle it that way, but you did it anyway. Just think back. You see. All she was trying to do was save your life and help you out. Thank God for your mothers today. Thank God for your mothers on today. And get it right before it's too late. If you have anything you need to ask your mother, today will be a good time to do it. And get it off your chest. But go to her in a humble spirit. Don't just go to her demanding answers. Because if you go to them right, I guarantee you, you will get the answers you need. You will get your questions answered. Because just like you got questions for her, you want to know things concerning her. Guess what? She want to know some things concerning you. She want to know some things concerning you. Y'all be encouraged and love on your mothers. They go through so much to make sure we're taken care of. To make sure we survive. To make sure we're good, y'all. And there's nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, that you should not do for your mother. Absolutely nothing. Because when she's laying in front of that church, it's too late to be saying the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. To be saying if heaven had a phone line. If I could have had one more conversation. Make time to spend with your mother. Make time to make sure she's good. Take her to her appointments, her doctor's appointments. Know what's going on with your mother because she never, ever, ever abandoned you. She took her to your appointments. She fed you. And I know some people are saying, well, that's what she's supposed to do. We didn't ask to be here. But now that you're here, no, I didn't ask to be here. But now that I'm here and she chose to raise me in the fear of the Lord, guess what? There's nothing I won't do for her because if it wasn't for her, I would not be alive, y'all. She saved my life on so many occasions. So many. So many occasions. Some of you all know to protect y'all from being raped by your own family. Yes, I'm going to say it. By your own family. She won't let you play with your brother. Because she knew your brother was in the teenage years feeling himself. And you were younger than him. Y'all, these mothers aren't crazy. She won't let you stay with your dad for certain reasons. Yes, you need a relationship with your father, don't get me wrong. But some of y'all mothers have protected y'all. When life could have eaten you up, life could have just swept you away. She saved your life. And that's something to be grateful for on today. If she didn't step in and listen to her women's intuition, if your saved mother didn't listen to the Spirit of the living God to get up out that bed and pray on your behalf while you was in the streets doing God knows what, while you were hanging out at your friend's house and unbeknownst to you, there were drugs and alcohol. There were men ready to tie you down and take advantage of you. If she didn't listen to the Spirit of God to get up and pray on your behalf, to get up and go get you, what would your life be like today? Thank God for your mama. Thank God for your mama, whether it be grandmama, whether it be stepmama, whether it be birth mama, whether it be adopted or foster mama, whether it be godmama, grandmama, whether it be an auntie that had to raise you, whether it be an older sister that had to raise you because mama's now gone. Thank God for these people that have saved your life. They have looked out for you when mama wasn't around. I thank God for my godmama every day. When mama wasn't around, guess what? When she was around, she held me to the standard that my mother would hold me to. She wouldn't let me get away with any and everything. Yeah, we'll have our time and we'll do our certain things, you know. But she wouldn't let me get away with anything. She wouldn't let me get out there and get wild. She too saved my life. If you have a stepmother that raised you, stepped in to help your father out because your parents are no longer together and she had to help raise you, thank God for that woman. She saved your life. She could have said, listen, that ain't my child. I'm not going to involve myself with her. I'm not going to take her to the nail shop with me. I'm not going to take her to the hair salon with me. She can't go to the mall with me on the weekends. She included you in her life. Thank God for these women. They have stood up to make sure that you survive, that you live your best life. Y'all love all your mothers. This woman, she spoke up and said, don't kill my child. Just go on and give my child to this lady here, but don't kill my child. And that's the mother's prayer on today. Kill me before you kill my child. Let me suffer, but don't let my child suffer. Lord, give me the sickness, but don't let my child sit there and be sick. Y'all ought to thank God for your mama. Because guess what? She spoke up. Asked God to keep you when death was knocking at your door and you didn't understand what was going on with you. You called your mama, she came running. Your mother saved your life. When you look up and can't find them friends you're running after, your BFF as you call it. When you look up and can't find that boyfriend or that girlfriend in trouble sometimes, you gonna look up to find mama right there. So be grateful for your mother today, because she's the one that saved your life.